Alright guys, finally I can make a video on my Dallas Cowboys. Now before we get into this, I want to let you guys know next week I'm going to be announcing in my Instagram story the winner of this giveaway for a pair of Apple AirPod Maxes. All you have to do to enter is follow me on Instagram. And after that, I think we're going to start giving away authentic jerseys to anyone that subscribes and turns on our notifications for this channel. And we could automatically start that from now. So just if you're subscribed and you turned on my notifications for this channel, let me know what jersey you'd want in the comment section down below. And now that we got all that out of the way, break! So I'm going to be honest with you guys, with NFL season around the corner, I'm in the market for a brand new jersey. But the problem is, you and I both know that jerseys are by far the most overpriced thing that you could ever purchase. And unfortunately for me, each and every time there happens to be a sale, well, I miss it, man. I'm a busy guy. Which is why I am a huge fan of Karma. Imagine like having an application that literally taps you on the shoulder each and every time something you really want is on sale, giving you the best time to purchase that product. Let me show you what I mean by that. I really want a brand new CeeDee jersey by the time the NFL season starts. All I have to do is add Karma as a Google extension, go to the CeeDee Lamb jersey that I wish to purchase, and I can set notifications for how much of a discount I would like before I get notified, which by the way, you can get notified via email or even by a mobile push notification, which includes other details such as the size as well. But get this, you can also organize all of these things that you'd like to save money on in lists to keep them organized, but that's not all Karma does. Say if you're about to make any purchase on the internet, no matter what, whether it's a retail purchase or you're trying to book a hotel, well, when you're using Karma on your computer, Karma will automatically scour the internet for promo codes to make sure that you get the best deal possible. And on top of that, you can even earn cash back at selected stores. If you want to try Karma, a link to that is going to be in the description down below. This is going to result in significantly more intelligent shopping for you. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Last year was a pretty critical year for the Dallas Cowboys after finally moving on from Jason Garrett for what has seemed to be an eternity after a strange attachment between Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett. The Dallas Cowboys finally had an opportunity to bring in a brand new head coach that could really change the landscape of the way this team plays football. And unfortunately for most Dallas Cowboys fans, they didn't really choose our top pick when they brought in Coach Mike McCarthy. Now, look, I'm going to definitely give Mike McCarthy a pass for his first year because he did come in the midst of a global pandemic. But on top of that, he made some decisions that just really rubbed me the wrong way. He was very buddy-buddy in terms of who he decided to add on to his head coaching staff, opting to hire Mike Nolan as his defensive coordinator because I suppose Mike Nolan hired Mike McCarthy as his offensive coordinator when Mike Nolan was the San Francisco 49ers head coach. And to say that he was abysmal as a defensive coordinator would be an understatement. In the first couple of games that Dak Prescott played, he completed 68% of his passes, threw for 1,800 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Yet the Dallas Cowboys went 2-3 in those games, and honestly, it would have been 1-4 in those games had it not been for a completely botched onside kick by the Atlanta Falcons. And oh, by the way, we now have the Atlanta Falcons' old head coach as our defensive coordinator. It was a very tough year. The Dallas Cowboys just couldn't catch a break, from Dak Prescott breaking his leg, to Travis Frederick retiring, Tyron Smith being injured for 14 games, Zach Martin being injured for 6 games, and Lael Collins missing the entire year. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line is notorious for being one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, but last year they fell to 27th in the entire NFL due to the injuries. Now, what happens when your offensive line stinks? Well, that star running back that you just gave probably the craziest contract in NFL history to ever be given to a running back ends up falling off a little bit. And honestly, how could he not? In 15 games, Ezekiel Elliott rushed for under 1,000 yards for yards per carry of 4.0. And honestly, with the fact that Dak Prescott was injured, your entire offensive line was injured, and the fact that your defense stunk, everybody and their mother knew that the Dallas Cowboys' only weapon at that point would be Ezekiel Elliott behind a paltry offensive line. That brought up questions about whether or not Zeke was stagnating or not. Ultimately, I'm not gonna lie, I stopped watching Cowboy games at around the week 10 mark because it was just too painful to watch. But there's a lot to be excited about in this training camp update. For one, according to Dak Prescott, he says that Zeke looks like he is in the best shape of his life. And when Ezekiel Elliott's healthy and doing his thing, he's the best running back in the league. Kellen Moore even praised Ezekiel Elliott's offseason work, describing him as fast and crisp in his on-field work, saying Zeke's had an awesome offseason. He's looked great out there. He's got total command of the whole thing, and it's been great. Just fast, crisp, in and out of things. He looks really good, and we're excited. There are other variables at play here. You see, the Dallas Cowboys made a pick that, honestly, I don't think filled a huge position of need for them in the 2020 NFL draft when they drafted CeeDee Lamb, a wide receiver that at the time when I was making draft rankings, I had him ranked as my top wide receiver in the NFL draft. And despite him not getting an opportunity to get in a lot of offseason work, despite Dak Prescott going down with an injury, this man still had a season where he was able to come down with 74 receptions for 935 yards and 5 touchdowns. Now, Mike McCarthy came out and explained his theory about second-year players to the media, saying that with a full offseason program, the second-year player typically benefits the most. He placed an emphasis that players whose rookie offseason was hindered by COVID-19 restrictions will have an even greater opportunity of taking advantage of a full 9 weeks of offseason activities. I've always referred to it as the second-year jump. Dak Prescott has been extremely impressed with CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee had this to say about his development, saying that as a typical receiver, I feel like if the ball is up in the air 50-50, then the receiver is feeling like it's 100-0. I'm looking to be more aggressive. McCarthy said that I see CeeDee Lamb making that jump. He's very comfortable and he's very natural. CeeDee's been saying that he's been doing a lot more studying, and that's helped him a lot, learning his opponent, learning the defense, and just the knowledge of the game. He also said that he felt a lot stronger and faster, and even a bit more explosive. Now, there are multiple variables for this Dallas Cowboys defense to potentially make a resurgence coming into this year. The first one being Trevon Diggs, a 2020 second-round pick, who played fairly decently for the Dallas Cowboys last season, given the opportunity that he was given. And I think Stefon Diggs should play significantly better now that he has Dan Quinn as his defensive coordinator as opposed to Mike Nolan. He's shown remarkable ability to pressure wide receivers off of the line of scrimmage, but he's not necessarily the greatest at keeping wide receivers from getting behind him. And luckily for him, his defensive coordinator is very big on cover 3 zones. Diggs can really take the next step this year if he embraces that Richard Sherman role, because like Richard Sherman, he is one of the taller cornerbacks in the NFL. And if they hit with Kelvin Joseph in the second round as well, then the Dallas Cowboys can potentially see a resurgence on their defense. But that's not the only player they're going to be counting on defensively that's a newcomer, because this year the Cowboys were seen as a potential lock, and I think in every single mock draft I had them taking Patrick Surtain II until the Denver Broncos surprised us all and decided to select him instead. The Cowboys quickly pivoted, traded back to the 12th pick, and decided to select Micah Parsons. And so far, Micah Parsons has been extremely impressive in training camp. Dan Quinn stated that he plans on utilizing Micah Parsons' skill set as a designated pass rusher in addition to middle linebacker duties. So he is going to be used in pass rushes, and he's also going to be depended upon for coverage. Parsons also mentioned that he has been able to form a relationship with DeMarcus Lawrence, stating that last week we were watching film of pass rush, and D-Law came up to me and was like, "You pass rush like that, Rook?" Parsons responded by saying, "Yeah, I used to be a defensive end." Lawrence responded by saying, "Tap in with me," and as a result, both Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence have been getting closer. Parsons was also very realistic about where he stood currently, stating that, honestly, the last 2 weeks have been a big transition phase for me. Obviously learning more checks, being more vocal, playing a new position, actually playing multiple positions. It has been pretty hectic for me, but I think each and every day I'm picking up something and just going out there and making early mistakes. That way, I'm creating a base and a ground, getting ready for camp. If the Dallas Cowboys could stay healthy, and if Dan Quinn is successful in installing his defensive system and players buy in, then I think this is a team that could surprise a lot of teams in the NFC. At the same time, we have this joke amongst Cowboy fans where each and every year we get hyped up and say this is our year, and ultimately we're let down. But that's not going to be different this year because I truly believe that this is our year. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this year's Dallas Cowboys, and give me your record predictions in the comment section down below. Aside from that, let me know if there's any other teams you want me to cover, because I actually pulled this from a request you guys gave me. I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.